Oh, wow. Okay. Hi, my name is Robin, and I am a compulsive overeater. Um, uh, Pretty recent member of Gray Sheet. I weigh and measure 3 meals off the Gray Sheet. I write them down, I commit them to my sponsor, and I don't eat anything in between. And yeah, I'm a little nervous about speaking. I've spoken a couple of times, but I'm just going to try to do my best with it. So let's see. I have been coming to Gray Sheet like a little over, I think, yeah, a little bit over a year. I have a sponsor, and I didn't think that I was a compulsive overeater until I was kind of like, excuse me, up against a wall with the way that I was eating. I'm in a couple of other 12-step programs, and I thought that like my character defects, um, I didn't see any kind of connection to the food, and how I was using food to kind of deal with the effects of these other, isms that I have. And so, I'm trying to be like respectful of the meeting, but I guess so. I'm in Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm coming up on 26 years in December, and I recently started going to Al-Anon meetings more recently. And I got to Gray Sheet because of a friend of mine who was telling me she struggles with bulimia and anorexia, and she was telling me about this food program. And anyway, I've been sober for a little while, and I think when I first came in to AA, I was probably like 140 pounds. And then when I came into Gray Sheet, like a little over a year ago, I was 211 pounds. And, I had started using food to deal with all of my feelings. So like where in the past I would have used alcohol or I would have used drugs, it just a little bit of shopping, but I never have any money. So I couldn't really go nuts with that. But it just all went into food. And I really loved sweet stuff. And I just really loved more of anything that I liked, basically. And I was really, really becoming uncomfortable, like, and I didn't know how to stop, because it seemed to be the only thing that I could do to kind of deal with some of the emotional problems that I was having, and with like my control issues around other people. I have my daughter, this is not my daughter's story, but this is like my reaction to my daughter's experience with some of the things that she has to deal with, was to eat. And that was the only thing that I thought that I could do, because I knew that if I drank, I'd black out and I'm going to wind up somewhere else. And if I do drugs, I'm going to end up doing this, and I don't want to do that anymore. So it's like, let me just eat. And so the weekends were kind of like, so my daughter has some special needs, and that's totally fine. It doesn't matter, but it's like, I couldn't show up for her, because I was too busy kind of like in this, I don't know if fugue state is the right way to put it, but I was just like spaced out like over the weekend because I ate so much. It was like all I could do was like binge watch TV. And I spoke at an AA meeting yesterday, and I realized like it was like binge watching, these HBO series, which you can do for a long time, and just like move on to the next one and move on to the next one, move on to the next one. My daughter would say to me like, oh, can we do this? And it's like, no, I can't. Mommy's too tired. Mommy can't do that. Can we do this? No, mommy, I don't feel well. And I like wear my shoes were just like, my feet were swollen, and it's like I couldn't even like really walk or too well, and I just felt tired all the time. So I started coming. So my friend told me about, these meetings and stuff, and I came to this meeting and met some people, and that was really helpful. And in my life, and I've lost like 70 pounds. I've had a couple of day ones. But I can't say enough like how much Gray Sheet has done for me, and how much the people of Gray Sheet have helped me in my life. Like my life has completely changed, and it's just amazing to me how, like, by weighing and measuring my food, and I know I've shared this before, and it's probably like, people are probably like, oh, she's on some pink cloud or something, but like, it's just amazing to me how, like, I can have a clarity that I didn't have before. And like I said, like, I've been sober for almost 26 years, but like that kind of clarity, like I didn't have that clarity before Gray Sheet. So it's just like kind of remarkable to me that that can happen from removing the grains and the removing the carbs and the sweets from my diet, and practicing a kind of spiritual program around that, doing that. And I know that I know that Gray Sheet works, because so now I've been through 2 Thanksgivings, and I really had no desire to overeat. And in fact, it was more like I had to remind myself not to be judgmental of the people in my life who were overeating, because I could just see, like, they looked like they were in a lot of, not a lot, but they were in physical pain. Um, they didn't feel well. And their solution was my solution before, which was to go to bed, And I heard somebody say the other day about like how, like, Thanksgiving, I forgot who it was, but they were talking about like Thanksgiving is like a time to come together, and like it's not all about the food. I forget where this was. Maybe it was in Gray Sheet meeting, but I was like, oh yeah, it's really not all about the food. But like that's what it had always been about, like the food, and I just ate my 3 meals, and I tried to have conversations with people. They were like, no, I got to go to bed. And I was like, okay, and we didn't get to spend that much time together. But I bring that up because I have to remember, like, I'm sorry, I'm saying like all the time, but I have to remember that, like, that these are tools that work for me, not because I'm virtuous or like such a great person. I didn't know these tools existed. And when I practice these tools, I feel really good. And if I don't practice them, I can get everything back that I had before. And like I definitely have ego problems. So sometimes in my mind, I'm, get judgmental, and I think, oh, it's like, you did this, so how come they can't do that? And that's when, like, one of my other 12-step programs has to come in and be like, well, it's none of your effing business why people don't do that. You like, just mind your business. And I kind of have to say it that way because I'm just very controlling sort of person. So getting through I've had some, I don't want to say, I don't know if they're no matter what's or what. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in my life, like a lot of people. And, so like my daughter has ADHD, she has dyslexia, my husband's in recovery. My mom's thinking about retiring, my daughter is adopted, so we have to deal with her birth mother decided to go to Africa for some reason. She was in Colorado and now she's in Africa. And she just contacted us recently, and she was like asking for money. Somebody else was suffering from cancer and almost died and now she's come out on the other side, my daughter's birth grandmother. So like, there's all these things that I could have eaten over, which would not have helped. And I suppose it's probably easier for me because it's not directly affecting me. It's like just me interacting with people who are going through these circumstances. So I don't really feel like they're no matter what, so much as just like difficult life circumstances that if I didn't have these tools to deal with, I would experience it differently, and I would use food to kind of cope. And but one thing I did notice about Thanksgiving though was like it was more the day after. The day after felt dangerous to me, because I was sort of like, oh wow, I got through that, and I did have some thoughts that I shared with my sponsor about like wanting to eat extra protein, because it tasted so good. And I'm glad that I didn't do that. But I can
You have
see where like
5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Where I need to, that word vigilance really, I'm not big with the word vigilance because I feel like it kind of removes the higher power in a way. It's like I'm in control and I'm the one who's doing everything. But I do need to pay attention to like these things, these thoughts that I have, and share them with somebody else because like left to my own devices, like it would be perfectly reasonable for me. So I had to like really pay attention to like, all right, this is 4.0. This is not 4.1. And like I've been talking with my sponsor, like I need to write things down because I psych myself out sometimes too. It's like, oh, are you sure it's 4.0? Yes, it is, because I wrote it down on this piece of paper. So I know, I don't have to doubt. So that's some things. I did raise my hand a couple of times to sponsor people or like put that out there on like some telephone meetings and stuff. And I don't know how I'm going to continue to do it, because I do have a certain amount of experience now after being here for a little while, but it feels like such a huge responsibility. But I do appreciate that, like, I have to give back what was given to me, so that I can keep what I have. Um, I don't know, I'm a little talked out because I here in Philadelphia, they do these like you're like your service commitment. You can do like a month-long service commitment. So like every Saturday I've spoken in the month of November, and then I spoke at a double winners meeting, and then I spoke at AA meeting, and then I'm speaking. So there's like all these meetings that I've been speaking at. So I feel a little spoked out, but I am very grateful to to Gray Sheet and for what it's done for me, and to know that like I don't have to a meal at a time. I don't have to go back to where I was before. My clothes fit. My mother bought me a pair of pants, which I'm 52 years old. I don't know why my mother still wants to dress me, but she bought me a pair of pants because they allegedly didn't fit her, and they were quite small, and I was like, oh wow, they fit me. So I took the pants because they're free and I'm kind of cheap, but I can actually buy clothes that I want to wear. And that actually, I also have much more sort of like self-confidence as a result, like being able to tell people, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but what I have experienced is at work, because I'm not so ashamed by my size. And I have more kind of like, I am able to express my opinion about things in a way that I wasn't before. I feel more confident to do that. So yeah, I love Gray Sheet. I hope somebody got something out of something that I had to say. And thanks everybody for being here. And that's all I have.